Okay, we're live. Hello, guys. Hope you guys doing well. Welcome back. Welcome back to our channel. So we did a sales process first part of the video on Tuesday. A lot of you guys liked it. Emailing me about the second part. Obviously, we promised on that video in the live session that hey, we will be doing a second part of the video. So I do have the second part of, let me share this screen and then we'll take it from there. So I do have this part that we are going to talk about today. And we talked about this process, the stage number one. We covered the traffic. We talked about the customer journey, the sales funnel from opt-in page to sales page. We talked about the application page and then calendar page and then thank you page. So that is the first part of the sales journey. So today, we will be talking about, let me share this so that it will, give me a quick second here. So this is what we have here. So we'll be talking about Zoom meeting or the sales call, and we'll be talking about the ultimate conversion, the ultimate carrier conversion script. We'll be talking about onboarding setup. And if you guys have questions, please let me know, and then I'll be taking those questions as well. Then we'll be talking about the paperwork. Then this is basically the onboarding process. If you divide this into two pieces, basically the stage number one is the traffic and the funnel. Well, it's still the sales journey for the lead, but then this is the second stage. On the second stage, we have two parts, meaning closing aspect and then obviously the onboarding aspect of it. So the closing, this is where we'll be talking on over the phone, maybe over the Zoom. We prefer talking to a lead or the potential customer over the Zoom so that we can, it's basically we see each other, we bind, we ask questions directly. You got the idea. So the ultimate conversion script, the script that I used, it's a battle tested, and I share this ultimate conversion script with my students. And this is it. And it's not, we're not talking about the weather. We're not talking about the games. We're not talking, we specifically talk about the leads or potential customers' problems. We talk about how we can solve their problems. We dissect their businesses into smaller pieces so that we can see what are the problems they have and how we can help or how we can optimize. So for the lead, then it makes sense that, hey, they feel understood. And we want the guided the communication, or we don't want unguided communication. So this is one of the reasons, this is one of the main reasons why we use the ultimate carrier conversion script, or maybe you have different script, but we call the ultimate carrier conversion script because we use this script to talking to carriers. Okay, so it's a guided communication. So moving from here, obviously, then when they say yes to our business, then what will happen next? The next thing will happen, obviously, will be onboarding them into our system. So for many of you, maybe the onboarding could be like, hey, we'll start on Monday. If you don't have a load board subscription, I have a load board subscription, or maybe dispatcher doesn't have any load board subscription. Carrier might say that, hey, I do have a load board subscription, and then I don't know, I can add you as an additional user, whatnot, and then we'll take it from there. That's simple. It can be that simple. But then for some people, it could be onboarding process. There may be several steps, right? We're not mentioning any type of services on this call, right? On this call, mainly on Zoom call, what we do is we talk into a carrier, just basically understand what the business needs. Can I help? And on the first video, the part number one that we did, and by the way, let me show you the part number one is, this is what I'm talking about. This is the part number one, right? So it's on this channel. Please check. The title is Get Your First Carrier in 10 Minutes or Less. Okay? So Then onboarding, it's a whole nother system. For me, it could be like, hey, you said yes. On Monday, I'll be sending you, let's say, a proposal, or maybe this evening, I'll be sending you a proposal. This is why I called a paperwork. On that proposal, I have specific proposal, and in that proposal, we have a two-part. Part number one is basically going over what I can do for them. I list everything, how I can help them based on what I learned over here, which is the Zoom meeting, right? I took a lot of notes. This carrier might say something like, man, I have problem finding drivers as well. Can you help me with that? This carrier might say, hey, I need help with building a lane. Maybe that would be another services that you're offering. Maybe this carrier might say, man, I'm all over the place on social media. I don't have a website, or something like that, right? So I took notes because I do offer website, let's say, or sales funnel building, or writing emails, writing copy, creating logos, right? We do offer those services to our carriers. And then let me finish this, and then we'll talk about more in details about onboarding. So on the second part, this is the first part. On the second part, I will be listing the price, right? So based on ABC tracking, based on our conversation, so this is what I can do. So you mentioned this, here's my solution. So you asked for this, here's my solution. And then at the end, I'll give them a price details. Some people, obviously, this is how I do it. Maybe you do something different. I don't know. Maybe you just straight charge 10% or 5%, whatever. But I do have different price points or different tiers of price. To think about that way. A tiering system. What I mean by saying that? Well, for this carrier, I might say, hey, if you just need me finding load, booking loads, dispatching loads, this is what it is. So I charge, let's say, 7%. But if you need factoring company involved, like X, Y, and Z, then I'll be charging 10%. But if you need my emergency services, for example, you call me in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or whatever, you call me and you wake me up, and then I'll be there with you until we solve the problem. So if you do that, or you need that, then I include this. Then I will, based on this, the percentage, then I will divide that into like weekly. So if you're interested in weekly payment, we can do weekly payment. If you're interested in monthly, we can do monthly. If you're interested, some carriers I do see they need set price, meaning for the services, they might say, hey, I have a one truck. I can give you $1,000 every single month, but I need this, right? So you just dispatch loads for 2.5 and above. So if you can go below 2.5, then I'm not interested in your services. So if you confident that you can deliver 2.5, then obviously this is for you, right? So some people can charge $1,200, $1,500. It depends. So if you have, maybe you have this question, like, what if I have a carrier and they have 10 trucks, for example? Well, then you might have a different price point. This is why I said like a tiering, right? So then there is like basic pricing. There could be like something pro plan and an advanced plan, whatever you want to call them, but just give them more options. Because what I realized is that maybe for brokers as well, this broker might be talking to a shipper or potential client or customer. Maybe shippers, they're sick and tired of hearing, this coding system that brokers have. They might be interested in something new. Same thing with carriers. Carriers, they already, it's kind of saturated this percentage-based charging. Well, if you can get creative about how you can just break down this and then not mentioning this percentage-wise, meaning from gross, we get 8%, then what will happen then, carrier will be comparing your services to other people. But obviously, or other services, others dispatching services, I should say. Then obviously it frustrates you. Well, I'm different. Well, if you're different, then position yourself differently. Okay? So if you're offering 8%, but then hundreds of thousands of people out there offering exact same, price points, like 8% or 9% or whatever. So on the paperwork, obviously, I said the dispatcher carrier agreement. On that agreement, I have my policies. I do this, I don't do that. So, and then obviously on the second part of this proposal, I have the pricing, right? And then at the end, I list the deliverables, and then at the same time, I will give them the price points. And again, I'm not limited to one price point. There three, might be four different ways that carrier can pay. Some people are interested in fixed monthly payment, as I said. Some people are interested in paying the gross revenue, meaning percentage. So then plugging into your system. A lot of people asking and commenting about TMS, but for dispatchers, you guys need CRM. And obviously for brokers, targeting shippers, they need TMS, advanced technologies or whatever tools. But for dispatchers, you need basic system to run. And obviously, TruckStop has the ITS dispatch. I loved it when I was a carrier. I used it. But then in order to access ITS dispatch, then you must be a carrier. And then here is how you can go about this. When you have a carrier, you can say, hey, we can use, if you really want me to organize all of your documents, everything, that like a kind of seamless process, then I want you to sign up for ITS dispatch, for example. That's the possibility. And then the reason why I say this, because TruckStop, they don't allow dispatchers to sign up for ITS dispatch. And I don't think they have the affiliate program so that you can refer this services to your carrier. So I don't know. They might have. So then you plug it into the system, but what I'm trying to say is that simple CRM can do the work. OTR Capital has a free CRM for independent freight dispatchers. The reason why I mentioned OTR solution is because I have a relationship with them. I love the company, and I worked in the past. It's an awesome company to work with. And then they built this CRM for carriers, and then I also share this with the dispatchers. So once you start plugging into your system, that's what I mean, plugging into your CRM and then customer service management. So let me show you what I mean by that. So this is what I have, right? I use Go High Level. The reason why I say I use Go High Level, because I want to make things simple. And by the way, when I said that we gone over the first part of the sales process, so this is what I mean by saying the first part of it. So first part, obviously, we talked about the opt-in page. Then we talked about the sales page. And again, if you haven't watched it yet, please go back and watch that, because this is basically, it's a second part of that training. So then we talked about the importance of basically going over the application process, qualifying your carriers. And we also talked about scheduling, how they can schedule a call with you. And we talked about also the importance of the thank you page. And this is where it actually continues, right? So the thank you page is here, it stops here. And then obviously, whenever the time they scheduled and you show up and you start talking to your potential lead. What I use, let me share this inside my group. This is what I mean. This is the ultimate carrier conversion script. This is based on this. I teach my independent freight dispatchers. So this is a whole thing that what to say, what not to say is basically there are a lot of things involved. And obviously people, killing with this. This is an awesome tool. So, and I did a training, seamless customer journey. Obviously, exact same thing. As you can see, I taught exact same thing, meaning, let me refresh real quick. Exact same thing here, right? So the seamless customer journey, and I taught exact same thing, meaning what I teach you here, and I did exactly the same thing with my paid members. And then obviously this is the next step, which is closing. And then this is about like hour-long, training. Let your carrier say yes. Now, coming back to this, and then they said yes. We move on to onboarding. We talked about the paperwork, right? Sending your dispatcher carrier agreement, and we also talked about importance of a pricing and different, pricing structure, and then plug it into your system, and obviously a dispatching system. What I mean by that is this, right? I'm talking about the load board. So the load board is actually, this is the nucleus of your business. You must have. Then, for US based residents, right? So US residents, I should say, I was trying to say US based customers. So if you are in the States, it's very easy for you to get the load board access. What I use, this is the DAT1 Select. If you're outside, accessing this load board almost impossible. There are many reasons for that. I will be doing another video on how to access a load board for US based, obviously. I mean, US residents. For US residents, you must have your LLC, your company, your independent freight dispatching company, and then you must have your carrier. And here the confusion, a lot of people ask about, hey, I have a carrier, but then how that goes. Like I called, what is it, the DAT, and they said, well, your carrier should call us, and then we have the conversation with them, and then we'll give you the access. And then they get confused. What they're doing is they're evaluating your business, and obviously they really want to see that this carrier that you're referring to them, they're legit. They have active MC number and DOT whatnot. Like they are like US based carriers. And once that done, right, and then the qualification process is done, obviously they will send you the link that, hey, you have, we granted access to our load board. The reason why I say that is because you should have, as an independent freight dispatcher, your own load board. Why? Well, if your carrier leaves you, at least you have your load board and you can dispatch to your second carrier, right? And obviously manage your clients using your load board. So that's what I mean by saying, dispatching system. Service delivery, this is where you're delivering your services, right? You could say, hey, I will be dispatching starting on Monday, and we will take from there. That's basically what I meant to say. So, hope that helps. Let me see. Let me see it over here. Okay. There you go. So if you guys have questions, please let me know your questions. Let me see if we have it here. Quick. Okay, there you go. Awesome. Do you guys have any questions as far as this system goes? If you guys have, let me know, and I will take it. Treat this as, let me see, Q&A. Any questions so far? We're good? Let me do this. So let me stop sharing so you guys can see it. There you go. So if you guys have questions, please let me know about the process, about the sales funnel, how you can get the sales funnel, or if you need to help, like you need help building your sales funnel or sales process, let me know. I'll do my best to help you. So other than that, this is how it works. If you're an independent freight dispatcher, this is how it's done. You must have a sales process. So if you don't have a sales process, it's almost impossible to get a carrier. And by the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I will be releasing a in-depth load board training. So I'll be going over the DAT1 Select, talking about the private loads. A lot of you guys interested in private loads. I'll be talking about what it is, how we can get in, and then obviously how to use a DAT load board specifically. I also, I started using what I call is a Tri-Hub. It's something new, coming up. It's an awesome tool. So if you guys are interested, please subscribe. And then when I release that video, obviously you will be notified. So below this video, there will be a link for the startup guide. Please check it out. So if you guys are interested, and we'll take it from there. Thank you.